Okay, Haley, so we're streaming and good to go.
Okay, thank you.
And Haley, one thing, I'm pretty sure I've got my screen sharing set, so it's gonna continue to share the Bluebeam screen with all the documents as I even as I toggle through different windows on my computer. But if at any point it stops sharing that, just let me know.
Okay.
right.
Good morning, everyone. It appears we have 4 DAC committee members on, and we also have Brennan and Valerie, who are the planners for the one item on today's agenda. However, it does not seem that we have the applicant, Amy Pierce. It's seeming everyone is coming through Teams, so I see an unknown user coming that way. I'm going to talk to her now.
Oh, no, no, no.
That was Tim Kratz. He's part of the team for the Popeyes that we are reviewing, and he logged in via Microsoft Teams, so he's now logging on to Zoom. We're also waiting for Amy Pierce, and I asked him to get in contact with her to make sure that she knew we were meeting
Okay.
via Zoom.
It looked like I'm on.
Oh,
Hello?
hi, Amy.
I've been here.
Very good. So we'll just wait a second for Tim to join.
Hey, Haley, it looks like somebody started a Teams meeting for this meeting as well. I don't know
Yeah,
if you,
I've been, as I see people joining, I've been joining and letting them know to come over to Zoom.
okay.
Okay, so good morning. I would like to call the Wednesday, January 19th DAC meeting to order. We will begin with roll call. Haley Dellery, present. Stephen Kroll. Stephen is present. Danny McElmurray.
Here,
Eleanor Burke.
Here.
Miguel Viteri.
Here.
Lewis Haywood. Lewis is absent. And Lindsay Glatz, who is also absent. The public comment form link is available at nola.gov/CPC. It will be available until the end of the 5-minute recess, after which time public comments will be read into the record as part of the consideration of dockets. At this time, would the committee make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the December 15th meeting?
motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion by Parks and Parkways and a second by HDLC. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes. We will begin with the presentation of dockets. The second item in today's agenda is the consideration of design review 00122 for a property at 6232 Elysian Fields. We have Amy Pierce signed up to speak on behalf of this application, and we have 2 CPC staff members assigned to this case, Brennan Walters and Valerie McMillan. As a reminder, following the staff presentation, the applicant will have 10 minutes to present. Valerie and Brennan, are y'all ready to give an overview?
Yes, my computer's being slow.
Okay.
Design Review 122 is a review in accordance with Article 4, Section 4.5.f for changes to approve conditional use plans, excuse my coworkers in the background, zoning docket 43-4 to permit a renovation, to an existing fast food restaurant on the site with over 100 feet and an EC enhancement corridor design overlay district and a CT corridor transformation design overlay district. The modifications are being reviewed in accordance with 14.3.b building design standards for the SB2 suburban pedestrian oriented corridor business district.
Okay, thank you, Valerie. Amy and team, you now have 10 minutes to present.
Can I share my screen?
No, we have the documents available. They're already pulled up, and Stephen Kroll in our office, he can flip through any page number that you need.
Okay, so I will just carry on then. I just wanted to explain that this particular project has been split up into 2 phases. Phase 1 is going to be the interior and exterior building remodel and re-image. That'll include a kitchen renovation, the front of house remodel, ADA upgrades, exterior storm damage repair and image refresh, and the site will remain unaltered during phase 1. Phase 2 will bring in the site modifications, and that includes addition of double drive-through lanes if it's feasible, parking lot repair, refinish, restripe, and landscaping upgrades. We realize that zoning wise, this is on 2 separate parcels, and the zoning will be a little trickier. So we're going to take the site modifications off to the side right now so they can continue with the remodel project. And as I had mentioned that we are not intending on changing any of the site at this point. That will come in the next phase. Okay, anyone else from our team have comments? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Mhm.
And I would like to point out to the committee members that we reviewed at the November meeting, another Popeyes on Carrollton. And the committee had made comments addressing the architecture, specifically HDLC and capital projects, requesting that the facade be a consistent brick material across. And after that, we received comments from the design team responding to those comments. And I had asked Robin, who's the planner for that one, to reach out specifically with HDLC and capital projects who had made those comments, just to get their follow-up feedback for those comments. So since this one was similar, I just wanted to point that out.
Their response was that if they removed the faux shutters, that then it created a big blank wall condition. And so they were concerned about that. And we sort of went back and forth, and then the conversation sort of petered out. So I'm not certain what happened after that. It seems like they should be able to come up with, an architectural solution other than faux shutters, if they have a blank wall, other than signage. So that was my recommendation. And my feeling is if the brick wall at the front should go all the way up on this proposal as well.
Okay, thank you, Eleanor.
Yeah, I just want to follow up and say I concur. There was conversation going back and forth, and I think the last request for information wasn't completed from the applicant, so we kind of just were left hanging.
In situations like that, we'll just document in the meeting minutes what the DAC's advice is, and we'll work it out with the applicant if they're able to make those changes. So specifically today for this one, Amy and team, are y'all comfortable with, and do you understand so far the comments that we're talking about, or would you like us to give you further detail? And can you kind of indicate whether you're comfortable with making those changes?
I do
Hi,
have a, go
sorry,
ahead.
Amy. This is Mandy Bayless from Seven Solution. I'm on Amy's team. Can you help provide a little more texture as to what the issue is with the faux shutters?
The fact that they're fake. I just think, I think it's great that Popeyes is getting rid of the fake balconies that are at a weird height. I think fake elements on buildings, trying to make them look historic when they're not, is an odd design move. And so I was excited that those fake balconies were being removed, and then we discussed the removal of the fake shutters as well. I understand it then presents a design problem where you have a blank wall, but you have architects that are obviously able to, solve those kinds of design problems fairly easily, in my mind.
Are the architects that are providing feedback, is that just part of your design review, or is that part of the historic overlay?
Well, this was a conversation related to the Popeyes on Claiborne. I mean, on Carrollton. So, since this is pretty much the same changes that are being proposed, I guess we would like to be consistent for both buildings and any future iterations.
Okay, that's good to know, because Popeyes is looking at rebranding more locations in this market, and so that's good feedback to know that that is what you guys would like to see moving forward.
Yeah.
And so then, in lieu of the fake shutters, your preference is the brick going all the way up along that side of the building?
No, the comment was at the front elevation, you see how the top half is stucco, fake stucco, and the bottom half is brick. The recommendation was that whole portion of the front facade be brick.
Excuse me, the front facade, the bottom part under the stucco is actually a vertical wood product.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the screen and it's kind of small.
It's hard to tell.
I think our recommendation was that it be consistent all the way up. Is that correct?
I think the preference is for it to be more brick than veneer. I think we're trying to get to a building that looks like it belongs in New Orleans with real architectural elements. But yes, I think the color of the is very similar. It's a different material, but I think the preference would be for it to be brick.
Yeah, I agree that if we, you've got brick on the sides, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perhaps, removing the wood veneer and making the entire front facade brick would be preferable. And then I was thinking, I think I've seen other fast food restaurants where they did a green screen to hide blank walls. So perhaps there could just be, a mesh that, some sort of green is grown on, if you don't have another alternative for either putting real windows in those blank elevations if you remove the fake shutters.
Okay, we can check with our structural team to see if that will be feasible.
Okay, that's just one suggestion. I don't know if the committee has other ideas for what.
Well, along those lines, maybe just landscaping that is a little bit taller, so it's in front of the blank wall, so you don't see this, just expansive white stucco. I mean, I think we're kind of asking for pretty straightforward recommendations that, any building should abide by.
I don't disagree with that. We're just trying to come up with what your preferences are versus coming up with a brand standard for Popeyes. So we'll get back together with Popeyes and go over your recommendations for the changes to the front of the elevation and then removing the shutters and adding a landscape element there. Is there anything else?
I didn't have any other comments.
Yeah, I think
It-
that was the most important elements.
Okay, thank you. If there's no further committee discussion, again, we're going to recess for 5 minutes and come back with a motion. You all may have noticed that I did send out an email this morning in regards to another design review 10921. And I sent out the drawings this morning. We were not able to meet the public noticing requirement of giving 24 hours advance notice. So we're going to put this on the agenda for the February meeting. And in the meanwhile, we're just going to ask that the committee provide any comments by email. The reason why this is a design review is because it's changes to previously approved plans. And they're adding an addition to an existing restaurant. And since this is within a CPC overlay, it requires DAC review. So this concludes the presentation of dockets. The committee will now recess for 5 minutes. Consideration of dockets, including public comments, will resume at 10:23.
are bringing the monitors over because they don't have the laptop traded yet. How do you want to do this?
You want to stack them on this table?
Sure.
Okay,
We get 2 per employee.
is that a box of one?
This is just one monitor. Yeah.
I don't know where else we could store them.
I guess we could also, once we get them, we could put 2 in each person's area.
And just start unpacking them.
Or I guess we should probably just leave them in here until we get the laptops.
Yeah,
That's
nothing you can
useless.
do.
Right. Okay. I'll put them on
Yeah, just,
the table, or you can just stack them around, just in case we need to.
Eleanor, I'm not sure if you care, but you're not on mute.
oh, sorry.
It's fine. Okay, the digital public comment form is now closed. We will begin with the consideration of the design review docket. Stephen, did we have any public comments? Okay, it appears that we did not receive any public comments, so the committee can now make a motion.
Is this on a timeline?
This is not a zoning docket. It's just a design review. So we're not on the same timelines as zoning dockets, no.
I think I feel comfortable approving it with the suggested changes and the rest to be worked out with the staff.
That's fine with me.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by HDLC for approval subject to the requested modifications with a second by Parks and Parkways. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes. Okay, this concludes the January meeting. Thank you, everyone, and see you again in February.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.